What's going on, guys? Shiva here from the Code Squad. For your sake, I will put times in the description to take you to different parts of the video guide that you may think are what you need to know, in case you already have a little bit of an idea how to play Angela. Otherwise, stick along and enjoy this guide. So the hero that we will be reviewing in today's full course is Angela. Having Angela on your side will definitely help your allies win the game easier and more efficiently. Since this is a full course, I have made a nice little overlay for you that explains different ratings for Angela. I will explain why I came to the conclusion for each rating, then go over her skills, story, builds, and then finally the in-game guide. Angela has an overall rating from me of an 8 out of 10 currently. Her solo queue potential is 2 out of 10, simply because you really need a team to make Angela shine. Her 3-man or more ability is 9 out of 10 because she absolutely dominates in any kind of team fight scenario. As for durability, she has a 4 out of 10 because she can get bursted down. Her magic damage is not that high, but it should not be taken lightly either. Her gank susceptibility, 7 out of 10. If you gank her, she will die easily. However, she has the ability to gank you and not let you escape. That's why that ganking power right there is a 7 out of 10. Her battlefield prowess, and I want to be clear when I say this, battlefield prowess in my opinion is that effect that you get when you see an enemy hero within your range. Kind of like if you see a fed enemy Fanny running around real close to you, you get that little alert going on inside your head, your little spidey senses, if you will, that you need to get away from that thing or it will kill you, or find a situation where that enemy hero doesn't have an advantage. That's battlefield prowess, how strong of an effect they have on the field. And Angela has a 10 out of 10 battlefield prowess in my opinion. Her strengths are crowd control, ambushing, high mobility, slowdowns, increasing enemy damage received. She can save, she can peel, and she's very, very kawaii. As a matter of fact, one of my squad members completely agrees with me. Here's a clip sampled from him.
And she's better than every single in this game. Everyone else sucks. People say that Kagura or Hanabi is waifu. No, Angela is best girl. I'm totally not selling myself out for a Dragon Boy skin or anything. I'm just saying my opinion that Angela is best girl.
Angela's weaknesses, however, are mid-level magic damage with no escape skills. She is burstable and she requires a lot of teamwork. She counters absolutely everything. However, she is countered by Saber, Lolita, Lancelot, Freya, Martis, Gujin, Harley, Cyclops, Cho, and Natalia. Her best synergy is with assassins and tanks. Obviously, this doesn't mean that it won't work with any other type of hero, but this is where she will be the most effective with. Her lane rotational power is 10, and again, just to clarify what I mean by lane rotational power, it's the ability that a hero has to switch lanes to assist in a gank or assist from peeling off a gank. So lane rotational power means how fast you can get from one lane to the other. And with her passive or with her ultimate, her lane rotational power is absolutely 10 out of 10. It's literally the best in the game right now. Her farming speed is a 3 out of 10, so don't really use her for farming if you're gonna do that. She's not meant to be played as a jungler. She absolutely does not need the buff. You can leave that for your assassin or your mage. She requires very little skill to learn. I mean, all you really do is spam skills. But there's a certain way to spam them, and there's certain timing. And the biggest skill to master would be map awareness. So that's where the difficulty to master, that's exactly why it's 8 out of 10. Because map awareness is not something that's easily learned. Her combo difficulty, like I said, it's just a bunch of spamming. 3 out of 10. Her best role to play is support. Obviously, that's why she's a support type. And she's very dependent on a team, so her team dependency is an 8 out of 10. Not a good hero for solo queue. That's reflected in the solo queue score. She has a 6 out of 10 peeling ability and a 6 out of 10 baiting ability. Her cost is 5 out of 5, as in the most expensive it can get in the game. And her popularity is 8 out of 10, meaning that you will always find her in a ranked game, either banned or in use. Her best lane to play is bottom and top. She really does not need mid lane. Mid lane can be better used by someone who can farm faster. Her core items are the Necklace of Durance and the Ice Queen Wand, if you're going to play her as a support role. And she is a ranged type hero. With all that being said, overall, Angela excels from the moment that she enters the battlefield to the moment you win the game. So in order to improve or learn how to play Angela, you will need to learn the following skills: map awareness, aiming, chasing, health bar timing, and little clarification, how far you're willing to bring your health bar down in order to kill somebody. Peeling and baiting. I will show you how to use each of these skills with Angela. Getting right into Angela's skills, her passive is called Smart Hard. Each time Angela uses a skill, her movement speed increases by 15% twice, up to 4 seconds. And this effect applies to your allies as well. Not her attached allies, any ally you hit with the love waves. Love waves are Angela's first skill, her most notable and iconic skill. Each time this hits an enemy, they get a stack over their head. Once the stack is 5 times, it changes color and they receive 100% more damage. And if you do hit your allies with this, they get that movement speed buff, and they also get the a little bit of heals, a little bit of health back. Her second skill is called Puppet on a String, and this basically throws yarn or string at a target and slows them down gradually up to 80%. Once it pops, it basically roots them in place for 1.5 seconds, and they get that little pop, like a little bit more damage, a little bit more burst of magic power. Her ultimate is called Heart Guard. This is absolutely the strongest skill she has. It teleports her anywhere to any ally on the map and allows you to basically be attached to that ally and use your skills without mana consumption, which is absolutely awesome because that's what gives her the map rotational power. Angela's story is: Dr. Baker was one of the founders of Lab 1718, an institution created with the aim of bringing peace to the world. But as his co-founders fell deeper and deeper into their depraved human weaponization experiments, Dr. Baker felt he had no choice but to leave and pursue a new project. Renouncing the questionable ethics of human experimentation, he endeavored to create a new kind of life form, solely from a mechanical skeleton, puppet strings, and a synthetic skin. And finally, a new generation of artificial life was born. Dr. Baker firmly believed that love and hope were the greatest inventions of mankind, so he programmed the world's most moving stories into the heart of his new creation. One bright morning, Peace Android Prototype 1 awakened from her bed, and Dr. Baker bestowed upon this adorable mechanical angel the name Angela. Angela followed Dr. Baker's tutelage, studying hard to understand the world, and hoping to meet the doctor's high expectations. However, their peaceful life together was soon cut short when the mad scientists of Lab 1718 heard rumors that Dr. Baker had created a living soul outside of a human body. They couldn't believe it. They convinced themselves that Baker had betrayed them, keeping his knowledge to himself before fleeing, and so they ordered Dr. Baker's past creations, Alpha and Beta, to hunt down Dr. Baker and his creation. As their pursuers were just about to close in on them, Dr. Baker placed Angela into a flight capsule, instructing her to seek out his good friend Dr. Rooney. However, the flight capsule was struck down in a terrible thunderstorm and landed in a remote corner of the Land of Dawn. Emerging from the wreckage, Angela began her journey to find Dr. Rooney and save her father. This means that Angela actually has a story tied to Alpha, which is a fighter type hero in Mobile Legends. Just in case you didn't know, a lot of these heroes pretty much have a lot of synchronization with their stories from the last story revamp that Mobile Legends went through. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the equipment needed for Angela. There's 3 builds that I will recommend, even though I really don't recommend the other 2. So just get used to the idea that I really only play her as a support type. I don't play her as damage, and I do not play her as a tank. So my build is a little bit more biased towards fighting as in with the team. The items I use for Angela in my team buff build are the Wizard Boots for extra gold during assists, the Ice Queen Wand for extra movement speed and slowdown effect using my skills, the Necklace of Durance for health regen reduction from enemies, the Dominance Ice for cooldown and attack speed reduction for nearby enemy heroes, Courage Bulwark to buff my allies and my minions, and the Thunder Belt to add a little bit more of a slowdown effect with a little bit more AoE. Now as for your support emblem, you're going to want to use the custom support emblem, followed by the mage, assassin, then the magical emblem. If you are going to use a custom support emblem, use the talent called Focusing Mark, Mastery, and then Rupture on 3 out of 3. Now if we get into the actual gameplay, I'm going to show you a little clip where I chase down a Bowman, getting my basically first blood in this game. And the way I chase him is by using the skill known as aiming, and literally it's not even complicated. Just make sure you aim properly at the enemy heroes. Basically what happens is that Bowman tries to steal the crab, and Lancelot tries to help him out a little bit, but Lancelot sees that Angela is way too overpowered early game with the slowdown effects, and with Sun kind of acting like as a triple team down there. So Balmond immediately dies, and if Lancelot would have chased us both, he would have died as well. It would have been a double kill. So meanwhile, if, like I said before, if you keep attention to the map awareness, Fanny is being chased down by Hayabusa and Zilong. Zilong unfortunately took too much tower damage and died. The only person left is Hayabusa, so all Fanny has to do now is either recall or reposition herself. She didn't recall and she got slain by a goblin. So, oh well. The next thing I'm going to show is going to fast forward this all the way down to where I'm level 4. But before I get to level 4 and use my ultimate to save somebody, I will show you what this little fight with Lancelot did. So I'm very low on health, and Lancelot's going to try to chase and dive and kill me, but the movement speed generated from Angela's passive is so much that I can just walk around a lot of his skills, and that string puppet on a string, he can't even immune it unless he does it at the right time, which he didn't. It made him get trapped in the tower and die from tower damage. The next person I'm going to save right here, immediately after his death, is Fanny, and that's just that power of power awareness. There's a couple little spots you can look at. You can either look at somebody's health by holding your ultimate, or you can look at the top 4 little section where it has like your little image of your allies. It shows their health bar right under there, and if their ult is available, there's a little green icon right on the top left. Whenever you see somebody low enough and you see that the enemy is basically trying to kill them, you can use your ultimate if it's available and save your allies from those certain situations. This is why Angela is so strong. The next encounter is with Sun, and Sun had a little something called a massive encounter with Balmond and Lancelot again. This Lancelot is learning real fast that he cannot just go up against both of us because it's just too much damage to take and he can't really escape from it. The next time I use my ultimate, it's on Hanabi, and I use it just because I knew Hanabi wasn't the type to retreat, just from basically looking at the map, knowing how she was playing during this whole gameplay. And this allows me to just kill the enemy Hayabusa by simply just using my passive to run away from enemy possible ganks and heal my allies. Unfortunately, Hayabusa dies because he has no sense of tower damage, but that's basically it. At 745, you see a little bit of a pincer attack, so it's kind of like a close down on an enemy, preventing their escape. Basically a free kill for the team, allowing us to get even more fed. Another thing I wanted to mention is, after that Balmond kill, the enemy team tries to go in for a team fight, and there's a little thing that I want to mention right here. If you look closely, I've run out of love waves to send to people, and the way you can regen some of them is by using your ultimate. When you use your ultimate, you get automatic 3 love waves minimum, so that can be like a great refresher skill, and that's exactly what I did. If you run out of love waves, you're on there on cooldown, you can use your ultimate and you get like 3 immediately to use, kind of helping your allies to be saved and or finishing chasing the enemy. The rest of the video is not necessary for you to learn how to play Angela. Like I said before, it's really just a matter of mastering the map awareness. If you're going to play her early game, just make sure you keep those love wave stacks ready for enemy ganks. Mid game, you don't have to worry so much about that. Just make sure that you know that you're not really strong and kind of tanky. And late game, just know that you will become that presence on the battlefield that everybody's going to want to run away from. Yeah, so the part where you use your health bar trick is going to be very difficult to do, and you have to make sure when you do it right. Going back to the health bar trick, if you look closely here, Lancelot now is completely focusing me because he knows I'm basically the savior of this team. But all you have to do when your health bar is running low and you're being targeted is run away to your tankiest person, as long as he knows he's going to engage the team fight, and just hover over them with your ult. And that's just going to basically clean up and end the game no matter how strong the enemy is. But yeah guys, that's it for watching. I hope you learned how to play Angela with this video. Remember, practice makes perfect, and this is a team-based game. However, Angela is one of those heroes that just requires more of a team than any other hero. You can try to take her to solo queue, you might get lucky, get teammates that actually know how to play with her, but it's a risk, and if you're willing to take that risk, that's fine. My name was Shiva, thanks for watching.
How much do you like